waiting for. Project Rusty is finished. We're out on the tracks. Now, if you haven't seen it before, this was an ex-mines vehicle, and we picked it up in absolutely shocking condition. The day we bought the 76 was it was a good one. So it rocked up on a tilt tray, and we were pretty surprised when we saw what we got. We started by demining the vehicle. That was a big first step, basically, because the vehicle named itself. It was in a pretty sad state when we got it. Underneath the car, the axle housings, every metal surface, the chassis rails were just battered, just pitted, covered with coal and mud and rust. It was quite a sight. We found the paint code we wanted, which is a Toyota factory colour from, I believe, 1984, called June Beige. As you know, this vehicle does have a V8 4.5 litre turbo. But while the body was off, we decided to install a twin 3-inch redback exhaust. And there's also a Steinbauer performance module, which just makes this thing hoot, especially when you turn the iDrive up a few units. It absolutely boogies. But the beauty of having the iDrive as well as the Steinbauer in the exhaust, you can turn it down when you're off-road, so the throttle's not as sensitive. Really, really handy piece of kit. Now, we all know the factory 2-piece raised air intake's pretty rubbish at doing its job. So we didn't just bolt on a snorkel, we've gone for the Safari R-Max snorkel, which is a huge monster. This can get a lot of air into this engine because we're obviously making more power than stock. We did have to upgrade the clutch with this, with the extra power. It's a common thing with cruisers. You'll probably get 20-30,000 Ks out of a stock clutch in stock form. We've put a DriveTech 4x4 clutch in there, and that's handling really, really well. Stopping power comes courtesy of some DBA slotted rotors, and we've also got a J-Max brake booster. Now this is sort of basically the Merc upgrade for cruisers. You need this gear if you want to stop. And look, it's a big heavy car, it's not going to stop on a dime, but it stops much better than stock, that's for damn sure. The suspension on this one's pretty wild because it's got a big job to do. It's got to carry a lot of weight, so we had to sort of spec up the spring rate, which is no flex machine, but it absolutely rides beautifully on these tracks thanks to the BT51 shock absorbers and the Old Man Emu springs. Wrapped around the brakes, we've got a set of dynamic steel wheels, which they're really period correct, they look perfect. And mounted to those is a set of wonderful, I'm a big fan of the Mickey Thompson P3 all-terrains in a 35-inch, which that gets us everywhere. Nice and quiet on road, super strong for off-roading, and grippy enough to get us through most places. Now, protection's really important for what we do. Obviously, animal strike and also protection against rocks and things like that off-road. So we've gone with an ARB front bar, as well as the side rails and the side steps, which do amazing, amazing work at protecting everything. To protect the front, we've got rival bash plates from DriveTech 4x4, which are really, really awesome. Lightweight, super strong. In the back, we've got a Kmart rear bar, which also provides protection, but houses a spare wheel and some jerry cans too. We do get in a bit of trouble with this car from time to time. The thing that gets us out of trouble is we've got a Train Tamer e-locker in the rear. And if that doesn't work, then we've got the warm winch on the front. The 12-volt side of things is very, very important, not just for charging batteries and laptops, but also because of the amount of time we spend off-grid. So we've got 3 batteries in the vehicle, 2 in the front and a Safari Lithium in the back, controlled by a RedArc Manager 30 system. There's also a 700-watt RedArc inverter. We've got the ARB Link system to control all the accessories. We've got lights for days. It's just out of control. We've done a beautiful, beautiful job setting this up, and the guys at More 4x4 have done a lot of this work. Now, time can be tight on the road, so we don't want to be mucking around with a slow compressor. We've got an ARB Twin, which pumps the 35s up in no time at all. To keep an eye on the investment there, because one tyre costs a lot of money and you don't want to pop one out bush, we've got Tyre Dog tyre pressure monitoring system, which is bolted to the dashboard so we know what's going on 24/7. We've got outback drawers in the back, as well as a cargo barrier with divider so we can stack things around the angle fridge. We've also got a Clearview Easy Slide in the back, which just brings the fridge down to a usable height. In terms of general touring modifications, there's many sundries that we've got that just add to this vehicle. Starting with clear view mirrors, that just provide an amazing view. We've also got a front runner roof rack which holds the Dacia rooftop tent. Combine that with the 180-degree awning, it's better than a motel, why would you bother? We've also got emu wing gull wings on the back, and these have just added so much to this vehicle. At the back of the car, underneath, we've got a 170 litre long Ranger diesel tank. So even with the V8, we've got heaps of range. Combined with that, there's a water tank from the same mob, which we can use for drinking, or having a shower with the Glynde hot water system. This isn't your average workmate inside. It's a nice, comfy place to be. Got these nice personalised seat covers. They did these just for us, even the colour to match the interior. We've put Resomat through, so that's a sound deadener, and that absolutely works a treat. On top of that, there's true fit carpets, so it's a really modern, comfortable vehicle inside for what was an ex-mine's work vehicle. For entertainment purposes, we've got an Alpine 8-inch unit, which not only plays all the tunes, it handles our navigation as well. We've got a HEMA unit built into that, so we've got maps for Australia-wide. Keeping an eye on the internals of the engine and also a 12-volt system, these awesome red arc gauges mounted on this pillar pod. They're just fantastic. And we've got our Gme Radio mounted nice and out of the way, but it's also in a spot where you can hear it. Got a handy little hook here so it doesn't get in the way. Lights, and a bit extra storage up here as well. Just got to maximise the space in a vehicle like this because they're not that big inside. So every square inch of Rusty is covered in goodness. I can't tell you how excited I am to see this vehicle out on the tracks and not in a workshop, because that's where it's been for the last couple of years basically. So future plans, fill it up with diesel, hit the road and rack some Ks up. We've turned this thing from an ex-mine's workhorse, covered in rust, covered in coal, covered in crud, to realistically one of Australia's most desirable touring vehicles. So we could put that same sort of treatment into another vehicle. Imagine what we could come up with. So let us know. Tell us what you think we should build next. What could be the next project to Project Rusty?